I was talking to you guys briefly yesterday about this video here. It came on my YouTube recommendeds. It's a short video. It's only 7 or 8 minutes. It's from a guy named CraftIG_. I haven't seen one of his videos before, but it says why pacing is key in WoW. It sounds just like a really, really interesting upload, right? Let's take a look.
Here's a stretch of road between Westfall and Duskwood. You've probably walked it before. It starts warm, golden grass, rolling hills, peaceful music.
Yeah.
Then suddenly you cross a bridge, and the light changes. The air goes still. Gray mist hangs over crooked trees. It doesn't say anything explicitly, but it slows you down, almost involuntarily. Not because a quest told you to, but because something about the world is inviting you to. It's almost saying, take this in. The shift in tone is deliberate, and it invites pause. It makes you notice. World of Warcraft did that to me, over and over again.
Yeah, totally.
It slowed me down.
Yeah.
Not just mechanically, but mentally, emotionally. It made me linger. It gave weight to move.
So this is this is the perfect like tone, right? I've been playing ultra hardcore, and I was before ultra I was playing RuneScape, and then when I was playing RuneScape, I just logged in every day and I tried to catch up to my friends, and it kind of like grieved to the idea of just exploring a world, and like that was my own fault, and like that sucked. I kind of grieved RuneScape for myself for that reason. But moving into WoW. On Ultra, one of the main things I don't want to do is rush. One of the main things I don't want to do is like just speed level and pass through all the zones without thinking. With Ultra, it's really fun because you don't have that mini map. Everything is scary. You can't see the levels, so it forces you to actually slow down your pace, right? It forces you to like level slower and take on each mob, and it's like it forces the pace to be very, very slow. And I'm loving it. And someone yesterday said, "Hey Czar, what's your level goal for the week?" And I'm like, I don't have one. I want to get back to a time where like I'm logging into the game to literally just explore and have fun. And that's what Ultra is kind of like doing for me, Ultra Hardcore. And I don't want, I want to hit 40 by this week. I want to literally just like log in and mess around with the boys and like, you know, just have a good time. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I was like 12 years old playing WoW, I was level like 40 for like months, just running around. Like running my friends through dead mines, like leveling alts, like messing around with professions in the city, like buying things and selling things, like bartering, like exploring the world. I didn't hit 60 for like a year or something. It took forever, right? And that's awesome. I had fun, right? So anyway, I think bringing that back a little bit is pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool. And I for me, that's kind of like how I enjoy the game. I don't want there to be this like, that's why specifically in our guild, I don't have like a date of like, we're raiding Molten Core on this day. Cause like, I don't want everyone to just rush to 60 and start grinding pre-bis like it always is. I want everyone to just have fun leveling really slowly, have a good time, meet people along the way. If you die, you go again. And like, I love that. I love the intentional slow pace. That's part of what makes Classic WoW so darn good.
Movement, to transition, to space. And in doing so, it turned its virtual world into something that felt almost real.
Right.
In a world where everything else in gaming is about speed, instant gratification, skipping cutscenes, map markers, and quest hubs, Vanilla WoW did the opposite. It instead asked the question, what's the rush?
Yeah.
And dared us to walk instead of run, to explore instead of extract. And honestly, that slowness, that friction, it might be the most powerful part of the entire game.
It's just really hard to do that when we live in a socially like a social network world, right? Where everyone's online seeing each other like, oh, my friend is leveling quicker because of, you know, this or that, and they're speed leveling, and like I gotta catch up, right? Because that's what happened to me in RuneScape. All my friends were doing all this fun content. I'm over here doing Gertrude's cat, and I'm like, bruh, I want to do the fun stuff, so let me try to rush through it. But by rushing through it, you grief yourself, and it's like you know, so it's tough. The volume's really low, is it?
I still remember hitting level 10 for the first time. I was playing a human warlock, wandering around Elwyn Forest with no idea what I was doing. I hadn't yet trained any abilities. I had a single bag full of weird spider parts and kobold candles. And I was constantly out of mana because I didn't even know wands were a thing yet. But when that little flash of light and the ding hit, it felt huge. And to get there, it took me at least 4 or 5 hours. And at the time, I had never been prouder of anything in a game. Leveling in Classic WoW took time. Every level felt earned, because you had to read quests, fight cautiously, travel carefully. You had to think. And that effort, it bonded you to your character. Your warrior wasn't just level 23. He was the level 23 warrior who fought his way through wetlands.
Well, technically that's a paladin, because there's a seal. But yeah, no, that's exactly right. That's why Ultra, I think, I don't want to speak for everyone here, but that's why I'm having so much fun, and I think a lot of you guys are having so much fun, is because it forces you to level so slow, so it becomes a journey in itself. Right? Like, you have to... Like you have to. If you level too quick, you're just gonna die, right? So it forces you to feel like you're 12 again, playing the game for the first time. And I think that's why people like hardcore in general, because it does that. And Ultra is another step, but hardcore in general is good because it feels like we're playing WoW for the first time in a sense, because you have to be careful. But yeah.
Survived a gank squad in Red Ridge, and soloed an elite scraping by with barely any health left. Compare that to modern MMOs or retail WoW. I couldn't tell you what level I was in Shadowlands. I barely remember where I quested.
You can't even get it with
but
Bubble?
I do remember being level 36 in Stranglethorn Vale, and grouping with a random hunter I'd met minutes earlier.
Ah, crap.
We got destroyed by ogres, laughed, kept going.
Yeah.
We stuck together for hours, and then I never saw him again.
This guy's so dead.
That's what slow games do. They make you live in the moment. Classic WoW's pacing wasn't just a side effect. It was a part of the design philosophy. You had to run everywhere. Mounts were a milestone, not a default. There were no quest markers. If you didn't read the quest, you were just kind of lost. At least until the advent of add-ons like Questy. And honestly...
I mean, we had Thoughtbot and Lokes. Like, Lokes are cheating, but like... Thoughtbot kind of sucked. Like, it wasn't as good as Wowhead was today. Like, you would look something up and it might not have any info on that quest. You'd have to like read the comments, and the comments, they'd be like fighting about something. And then like you'd find the Lokes and then you'd put them in, and like sometimes they would work and sometimes they'd be wrong, or sometimes they'd be a little inaccurate. So then you'd still have to like look around, but it would still be like a process and a half.
Getting lost was part of the fun. Getting to dungeons wasn't a queue. It was an event. You gathered people. You took boats, zeppelins, flight paths.
Right.
You whispered every warlock around asking for help summoning someone.
Right.
Sometimes it took longer to get to the dungeon than to finish it. And yet those journeys felt like part of the game. Part of the adventure. Even something simple like learning new spells. You had to visit your trainer, manually. And if you forgot, you might go multiple levels still casting lower rank spells. Classic was full of little systems like that. And yeah, they were clunky, but they made you pay attention. They made you feel present. And here's the thing about slowness. It gives space for emergence. When a game isn't constantly rushing you, the gaps in between become places where stories happen. Not cinematic cutscene stories, but your stories. And that kind of experience doesn't happen when you can respawn instantly, or when you can teleport to dungeons, or when every quest is a checklist. You remember the struggles because the pacing gave them weight.
That's why so many like people ask like, oh, what's it like? Should I play retail or should I play classic? And it's like retail's really good if you want to just get into that gameplay and spam the gameplay, and you're maybe you're a high-end player and you want to like push M+ or push arena or push battlegrounds or whatever it is. they cut out all the running, right? You literally just like queue, port, get there instantly, go, right? Zoomer mindset. It can be very fun and very addicting, especially if that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for like an MMO, right, that means like running through the world to get to your destinations and having the world that feels alive, the community that feels alive, like retail has lost that, in my opinion. And I shouldn't say lost, because it's not like binary. It's not like, do you have it or not? It's more of like a spectrum of how much of it do you have. And I'd say retail's lower on that spectrum, and classic is much, much, much higher on that spectrum because of these things. But yeah, anyway, I think it's a good conversation, just generally to add to the Classic Plus conversation, right? Should we have Classic Plus arena queues from the city? A lot of people would maybe say yes. I would argue no, right? Like, I would argue at the very least, you'd have to run to someone to queue up. Like, I think being able to just like spam queue arenas or spam queue dungeons or whatever, it's like, it really, really hurts that feeling of that alive world, right?
I met a lot of friends while struggling, waiting for respawns, getting lost, grouping up for elites. Classic made those moments feel natural. It left space for the human part of the MMO to happen.
Yeah.
Modern games are fast. That's not a dig. It's just the norm now. Streamlined, optimized, clean. But sometimes I think about how we treat our time. We're so afraid of wasting it, we forget how to use it. Classic WoW, whether by design or accident, gave us permission to waste time beautifully.
Right, yeah.
It let things take longer than they needed to. And in doing that, it made them mean something. The journey from Darkshore to Ironforge, that stretch of road in the wetlands teeming with question mark level spiders and crocolisks, absolutely butthole-clenchingly stressful the first time. But the feeling of walking through the North Gate Pass into the snowy peaks of Dune Moreau, trekking your way upwards towards the gates of Ironforge, it felt almost triumphant. Like you really had traversed continents and overcame danger in the journey to your destination. These days, now...
I mean, yesterday we did Shadowfang Keep, and I already had the flight path, but I decided to just run with my group anyway, because it's so iconic to just run through wetlands with a group of 5 people that are headed out for Arathi to get to Shadowfang Keep, you know? And I was talking about how iconic it used to be to have 5 Alliance group in South Shore run up to Scarlet Monastery, and you'd like swim through the river or the lake, I guess, up northwards toward SM, and you'd run by Undercity, and like it just felt like so iconic to do that run. I've done it like hundreds of times, and yeah, like it's kind of nice. It's friction, but it's nice.
But I'm older and have a bit more responsibility. When I log into Classic, I don't play to raid or grind PvP ranks. I play to just be. I take walks through the Barrens, I fish in Westfall. Sometimes I just ride. Nowhere in particular, just ride.
Bro, I remember when I first got my epic mount in Classic WoW, I literally just rode circles around Elwyn Forest because it was so darn quick. Like I just would just run laps around, no destination at all. I was just like, this is sick. Like, it felt so cool.
I think that's the point. Classic WoW slows you down. Not to waste your time, but to remind you that time itself can be the reward. So next time you log in, don't rush. Don't worry about min-maxing. Don't worry about what you're getting done. Feel free to just wander. To just be. Because in Classic WoW, slow isn't necessarily inefficient. Slow is smooth. And smooth is beautiful.
Alright. Nice upload. I enjoyed that. It was pretty good timing because like I've talked about this so much this past 2 weeks with this video because I really feel like I grieved my RuneScape experience by just rushing every day. I just was like, all right, I have 8 hours. I need to catch up. Let's go. And it just really ruined it for me. And I feel like back to Ultra, I'm just going so slow and it's amazing, bro. I love it. Having said that, I just want to say it's harder than it seems, right? Because like in RuneScape, all my friends were on the next part of the content. I wanted to play with them, so I wanted to rush. So it's harder than it seems to just go slow whenever, like, if everyone else is going quick. And OnlyFans was the same thing. Like, there was a set date for Molten Core. If you go slow, you're gonna just miss it. So I was playing like 10, 12 hours a day to make it to Molten Core, which, like, you know, sometimes it can be worth it, I guess, to sprint for a bit. But like, yeah, I feel like the game is the best when you go slow. Cool. The Tragic Lore of Vanilla. Wow, what's this?
What if the most haunted...
Huh. I wonder what... this guy might have some other good vids. WoW's Golden Age. The Wisdom of WoW. Some really good titles here. I might sub to this guy, see what's going on.
A note on taking it slow to enjoy. Quote, "We're wired as humans to pursue happiness. But you only find purpose and enjoyment when you find happiness in the pursuit."
Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. Yeah, it's like the old fisherman fable or whatever as well, which I don't know well enough to re-quote off the top of my head, but you guys know what I'm talking about, or some of you do. Yeah, exactly. It's man, it's tough when culture is just so darn quick to take it slow, but yeah, it's a good reminder, man. Teach a man to fish? No, yeah. I don't know well enough to say it. I know it in my head, but I've never like told the story. When is my birthday? My birthday it's actually like 2-3 weeks ago. I'm 32 years old. Yeah.